Hello, one and all. Welcome to another episode of MMA Vision Analysis. This one, we're going to talk about UFC 309, heavyweight division, the talks of Tom Aspinall being the replacement fighter for the Jon Jones-Stipe Miocic fight. We're going to go into what this exactly means. But before getting started, make sure to like, subscribe, click that notification to get all of this that is new from this channel, your channel, the one and only MMA Vision Analysis. This was expected. Tom Aspinall, many would argue, should have been the fighter facing Jon Jones, let alone being the replacement fighter for that fight. But there's a catch to it. Obviously, it's been talked about. If Stipe Miocic makes it to the night of UFC 309, and for whatever reason Jon Jones isn't able to make it, we will not see Stipe go against Tom Aspinall. It doesn't make much sense. Now, there are exceptions, like if Stipe decides to fight Tom for whatever reason. And that's highly unlikely. The more likely scenario, in all honesty, to where the Tom Aspinall card would be activated is if Stipe doesn't make it to the night of UFC 309. Now, some have suggested if either one of those fighters pull out of the fight, then neither one of them is fighting a Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall would go on to face somebody else. I don't think so. I think that if Stipe could not make it to the night of UFC 309, for whatever reason, and things happen, people tend to forget. Fighters pull out a fight same day sometimes, the day before. Last time it happened in dramatic fashion, UFC 303, Diego Lopez was to face Brian Ortega for the first time. The first time this fight was scheduled, obviously, did not happen. Brian Ortega had lip fever, and if I'm not mistaken, Dan Ige stepped in on like a 4-hour notice. So basically, Brian Ortega pulled out like the same day or the night before. So things happen, right? There are fighters that are known to pull out. It's not known for Stipe, but Stipe has been inactive for the best part of 3 years. I think that speaks volume. I'm not sure what Stipe is going to look like come the night of UFC 309 if he does make it to the fight. I, for whatever reason, have my doubts about Stipe making it to that fight. Just because of sheer inactivity, number one, and being 43 years old, number two. I don't know why matchmakers push this one so hard. I do understand that two athletes want to face one another, but in all honesty, the math isn't just adding up on this one. For whatever reason, it's unsettling for me to see Stipe Miocic back in that octagon. I do understand that we're talking about one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, but I would just hate for this guy to take more damage. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy task for Jon Jones to beat him, but if Jon Jones was to beat him, I just want to see Jon Jones just kind of outscore him. Or choke him out. I do understand that if Stipe makes it to that fight, he's going to probably want to knock Jon Jones out, and obviously he has the ability. After all, this guy put away a Francis Ngannou. That being said, I believe, as I said in the beginning of the video, if Jon Jones was to pull out, Stipe is not to fight Tom Aspinall. Or maybe I could be wrong, but it's highly unlikely. But people think that Jon Jones does not want to fight Tom Aspinall. I don't think he's scared of a Tom Aspinall. It just doesn't make sense. There's nothing to prove there. But if Stipe, for whatever reason, cannot make it, and it's a short notice, then I think Jon Jones will face a Tom Aspinall. Some suggest that Tom Aspinall will go on to fight somebody else. That's also a possibility, but I really do believe that Jon Jones is probably going to take it upon himself to save the night of UFC 309 if something was to happen. But it is official. We kind of have Tom Aspinall being an official part of this. I do understand that card is not activated unless something happens. Let's keep our fingers crossed. But Tom Aspinall is somewhat officially in the conversation at this point. very excited for the next few weeks, see how things unfold in that heavyweight division. If you made it this far, appreciate you for sticking around. Please let me know what you think in the comments and subscribe for more.